So we'll start out. Kitty wants to say hello. Hello, Kitty. We'll start out with the wall behind us, or that surface we can lean into, and one of our blankets. You can see that I already have one of my blankets draped over my mat for later when we come into our Shavasana. And this blanket that I'm holding in my hand, I'm going to just roll it up a little bit so that I'm going to place it down on the floor. I'm going to walk my heels onto it so my heels are slightly elevated. We've been working with Malasana squat this month a lot as a really nice physical way to try this idea of rooting, grounding, and stabilizing with Muladhara root chakra energy. So you can see my toes are slightly turned out, my heels are slightly turned in, and my heels are slightly elevated. Now I'm going to start to bend my knees deeply. My tailbone's kind of just sliding down the wall behind me. And I'm going to come into Malasana this way. All right, so you don't have to go as low as me. It's okay if you don't. But the idea is that I can sink down into this position and kind of hang out here for a little bit because I have wall space and I have my heels slightly elevated. So even if it's, your hips are like in line with your knees, you're leaning a little bit of weight into the wall behind you and let your heel bones be heavy. And then take your arms to the inner thighs and see if you can just resist the knees away from one another. It doesn't mean you have to open the knees up, but just kind of feel that resistance of arm bones pressing knees away. So we'll breathe here. You could close the eyes, you can hang the head. We'll just breathe here for the time being. Let's say about 5 to 6 breath cycles, which should equal about a minute if you're breathing nice and slow. If you think about that math, a 5 count inhale, a 5 count exhale. It's about 10 seconds for one full breath cycle. Multiply that by 6. You get a full minute. Doesn't take much time. So it'll behoove you here to slow the breath way down, especially in your restorative practice. Okay, last couple of breaths. Well, last breath, or just exhale, let all the air out. We're going to come right into a forward fold. So hands forward, hips lift, and then upper body just dangles over the legs. You don't have to get your legs straight. And if the hands don't reach the floor, grab another one of your props. Maybe it's a pillow or a chair. Rest your hands on that prop. Now let the head be heavy. And then lean the weight of your sits bones into the wall behind you. Okay, and bend the knees right and left here. So head is really heavy. Let go of the back of the neck. Let your neck lengthen out. Now bend your knees a lot until the belly can relax on the thighs. You can rest your tailbone, your sits bones, the weight of that into the wall. Remember, it's there to support you. Belly resting on the thighs. And from this position, start to turn the toes out and sink the hips back down into a Malasana squat. Another minute here. Boop. All right. Another minute in Malasana. So you don't have to sit up, right, in your Malasana squat. You can round forward and reach the arms forward. But since you do have the wall behind you, it might be interesting to see about kind of leaning back into this. Maybe not. Maybe it's not interesting. These are just options. There's no right or wrong, because all of our bodies are so different anatomically, physically, mobility-wise. This is why I like to give you options, why I like to encourage you to explore, why I like to encourage you to use props in a lot of different ways, because all of our bodies are just different, and that's okay. Wouldn't it be kind of boring if we were all the same? All right, minute is up. We're going to come back to our forward fold. We'll take a minute in our forward fold. So you can walk the hands forward, extend the legs up, and then rest the tailbone into the wall. Hands come down to the floor or that prop that's waiting for you. Head is heavy. So you can hold this static or you can continue bending the knees right and left. It really depends on you. All right, so release out of our forward fold. Take it super slow. Just come down to your knees, your hands and your knees. So you're in this little tabletop. And then we're gonna set up for a gentle back bend. And then we'll head into a long Shavasana with guided meditation. So we're getting the hips, we're getting the spine, now we're getting the upper back, the shoulders. So in this back bend, we're gonna take maybe a pillow or a bolster if you have one, or a folded blanket, and maybe might be a few blankets, so it's like the same width of a pillow, right? That's going to bisect your upper back at the thoracic spine. So you can watch me as I get into this if you want. With your legs, really anything that feels good. So I'm gonna take something underneath the backs of my knees. And then this pillow that I'm using to elevate my thoracic spine goes right at the back of the shoulder blades. So my shoulder head, the head of the shoulder bone, is on top, or above the lift of the blanket. So my chest is lifted, my front rib cage is lifted, but the backs of my shoulders are drooping down towards the floor. And then the head, depending on the thickness, the height of your elevation, you might want to add a blanket underneath the back of the head. So if your chin's like really jutted up towards the ceiling and your neck is really arched, you want it to be a more neutral, more relaxed position. So you might take something underneath the back of the head there. If it's too much on your back to stretch the legs out like this, bend your knees, plant your feet. You could also take the soles of the feet together and the knees wide, like Supta Baddha Konasana. Reclined bound angle is the translation. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. A little bit longer. Thoracic spine tends to be much more stiff. Well, percentage-wise, at least the thoracic spine is the least flexible part of the back. If you think of the lumbar spine and the cervical spine, so the low back and the neck, those are the most mobile parts of our spine. About 70% flexibility, as opposed to thoracic spine, the upper back, about 30% flexibility. It's a big difference. So what are you doing with your arms here? Can you relax your arms? I just have my arms stretched out to the side. You can cactus the elbows here too. You can support forearms with pillows. Whatever it takes to get your chest to broaden and your shoulders to relax. Feel the weight of the pelvis, let it be heavy. Feet, heel bones heavy. Breath nice and slow. So slowly bring it back, bring the awareness back here. I want you to go super slow on the transition out of this. So here's what I'd recommend. You can bend your knees if your legs are stretched out. Just take a moment, pause there, see how that feels. And then roll off to a side. And as you roll off to a side, you can move the prop out of the way so that you're just lying completely on the side. Resting the head on a bicep or a pillow. Just take a few moments here to let shoulders stack, hips stack. Okay, so nice and slow, take it easy. Press into your hands, come up to a seat. We'll take a shorter forward fold because the energetics of opening up the thoracic spine tend to be very energizing, which is not a bad thing. It's great, right? It's the middle of the day. But we want to balance that so we can come into a meditation without being really activated. So brief forward fold to balance the energetics of the back bend. And the forward fold is just encouraging of that internal awareness, that internal perspective that kind of goes hand in hand with meditation. So you can keep the knees slightly bent, or like what I have going on here is still this blanket roll underneath the backs of the knees. And then maybe you take a pillow and kind of rest it underneath the chest. Okay, so in essence, you're in a forward fold. Those of you that are more bendy, you can just let the body drape forward. Let your arms be relaxed. I have my feet a little bit wider, so I have space for like my arms and my pillow between my legs. So as many pillows and props as you want together underneath your chest, underneath your chin, even underneath your forehead. You could even take a block if you have one underneath the forehead. And we'll take a minute here, just a minute. Set us a timer. Deep breaths, deep belly breaths. Nice and gentle, unroll the spine and just take a moment to sit up. Roll out the head, side to side. And now we're going to settle into this Shavasana / guided meditation. Or if I'm being really technical, Yoga Nidra. Nidra means sleep. And it doesn't mean that I'm trying to put you to sleep, although that might happen. It means, Nidra means like enlightened sleep. So it's a very resetting, restorative, re-energizing practice. So the idea is that you give your body the time to rest, to reset, and then when you're ready to wake up out of it, you're able to go back to the tasks at hand with focus and clarity. So you can see I'm gathering all of my little props, my blankets. I still have that blanket roll underneath the backs of the knees. Think about the points of contact that are coming in contact with the floor, or just go get in your bed and it's super comfortable already, right? So something underneath the backs of the knees, highly recommend. Weight to the belly, highly recommend. Padding for the hips, the extra blanket or two, and padding for the shoulders, and then settle down on your back. Once you're there on your back, take your arms alongside your body and let your palms rotate up towards the ceiling. Kind of shrug your shoulders away from the ears. And just slightly tilt your chin to your chest. Just like you would for Shavasana, take a breath in through the nose. And then open your mouth, exhale the air out. And feel the weight of the whole back body releasing into the floor or whatever it is you're lying on. So feel the whole body release, relax, and let go. Back teeth part, jaw softens, tongue relaxes. Let your eyes close, let them sink heavy. We'll now begin the practice of Yoga Nidra. There is nothing that you need to do, just allow yourself to listen. You can imagine as if my voice acts like a rope. And so just like you would take hold of a rope to go in and out of the depths of a cave, so too does the sound of my voice act like a rope to tether you as you dive into a deeper layer of consciousness. Feel your whole back body release, soften. Your whole front body soften into whole back body. Breath in, breath out. The mind is in a mood to relax. You are in a comfortable, safe space. You are protected, and you have everything you need in this moment right now. You will begin to count backward on the breath. Start at the number 10. And with each exhalation, you will go backward 1 count. So the next exhale will be 9. Next exhale, 8. Continuing to count backward on your breath until you arrive at 0. Each exhalation is like peeling away another layer of an onion. closer you get to zero, the more the mind, the body, the breath are established in a state of total and complete relaxation. Now let go of any counting. Even if you didn't make it to zero, just let it go. We'll begin the rotation of consciousness. So again, there's nothing you need to do, just listen. I will call out a body part. You will bring your awareness there and do your best to just relax. We'll start off by the awareness at the forehead, the third eye center. Awareness to the right eye, the left eye, the tip of the nose, the whole nose. Awareness to the mouth, the lips, the teeth, the gums, to the chin, awareness to the throat, the center of the chest, the right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Completely relax your entire right arm. Relax. Center of the chest. Over to the left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Completely relax your entire left arm. The whole left arm is completely relaxed. Center of the chest, navel center, the pelvis, right hip, right kneecap, right shin bone, right ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe. Completely relax your entire right leg. The pelvis, the left hip, left kneecap, left shin bone, left ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe. Relax your entire left leg. Now feel your whole body. Your whole body is heavy. Your whole body is so heavy. It's as if there's a weight tied to you, like a huge piece of lead, and you're sinking into the ocean, down to the depths of the ocean floor. Your body is so heavy. feel or sense lightness. Your whole body is so light. You are so light as if you were a feather that can be picked up by the slightest breeze. You are so light that you could begin to levitate above your mat, above whatever base you're lying on. Feel your whole body become so light. Now bring your awareness back to the space, the body, the place and time that you occupy. And without opening the eyes, can you visualize the room around you? The objects, the colors, the shapes. Can you sense a higher frequency, a higher vibration? A vibration of safety, protection, and having all of your needs met. This is the state of your current being. To complete the practice of Yoga Nidra, begin to deepen the breath. Slowly awaken through fingertips and toes. Move your head side to side. Bend your knees and start to make your way off to a side. Just hold yourself in fetal position for a moment. And continue up to a very brief, comfortable seat. Support your sits bones so that your spine can grow tall. Your knees can relax. Hands together in Padma Mudra, thumbs and pinkies touching. Rest that at the heart. Relax elbows and shoulders. Grow tall through the crown. Breath in here. Breath out. Visualizing a deep ruby red lotus flower floating on a puddle of mud, floating on deep brown, rich earth. Contrast of these colors is sharp and brilliant. Finally, bowing the chin to the chest, honoring your effort, your practice, acknowledging that you are alive, you are here, you are trying, and that is always enough. Reverence and gratitude to our practice, our teachers, past, present, future, to the teacher within your own heart. Namaste. All right, everyone. Hopefully that was a nice little break in your day, rejuvenating, clarifying, all those good things. Thank you.